All right. Hey, folks, we're going to continue working on artwork for Crystals of Mabar. We're making creature tokens. Let me check my signal here to make sure I'm coming through okay. I'll go through an intro spiel, and then we'll get to work here. So, doing a mic check here real quick. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Sounds like I'm coming through okay. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay, great. So, let me go ahead and fetch this up. And I'm going to press some buttons here while doing an intro. So give me a hot second here while all that stuff processes. Beep, 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 beep. Cool. Okay, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them online, and I've been a DM since 1987. I've called Eberron my home world since around, I want to say like around 2007. I've been publishing content on DMsGuild since 2017, but I have never actually published an adventure before. And it seems fitting that, being that all my campaigns take place in Eberron, that I would make an Eberron adventure. So that's what we're in the process of doing here. Andy Headley, Stuart Braz, and myself, we're creating Crystals of Mabar. It's a 7th or 8th level adventure for 4 to 5 characters in the Carnwood of Karnath. The setup here is that necromancers have found a way to permanize to sustain. They're attempting to permanize, but currently are sustaining an unnatural manifest zone to the plane of Mabar, which is the plane of night, undeath, and bump in the dark sort of stuff. So, one last second here. Boop, got that cleared. Cool. Just posted I'm in the Eberron Reddit, subreddit. Super fun stuff. Definitely worth your time. And let's see. I'm at Phil Kearney on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney, so you can follow me there if you want to get notifications of different stuff that I've published or releases that are out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when I'm live in the future here on YouTube. We are currently on episode 209 of creating this. We made this cover around around episode 40, and we're going to work on the font here. Once we finish all the creatures that we're creating, we're going to change the font here, and then we're going to get back into our mapping. Right now we're making a Plague Hound, but I'm not happy with this popper. I like the puppy, but I think I want to do more with it. So I'm going to revisit the crystals that are accumulating on it. For those that don't know, haven't been around for the past 200 episodes, the way that this works is that the manifest zone of a bar being sustained unnaturally long is causing the area that's affected to start getting terraformed by the plane of Mabar. And the way that it goes about doing that is winds that blow through the manifest zone out into the Carnwood is carrying pollens and different sort of what nature exists in Mabar is being transposed into the Carnwood. The soil of Mabar wouldn't be life sustaining as as normal. What it is it basically is like this life draining substance. It's like full, like the fog, the manifest zone, the wind that blows creates a fog, and the fog will rot normal living material like plant life in the Carnwood forest. And so as this fog drains life from the soil and nutrients of the natural forest, it dries out the soil into this sort of Fulgur's crystal type substance called Crystals of Mabar, hence the title. And this stuff is useful because it can be basically dried and powdered to become a focus substance in casting undead or darkness rituals. which you would kind of expect undead necromancer type characters to do. So the folks that are overseeing this ritual, that are artificially extending, that are artificially creating and extending the duration of this manifest zone, are doing so specifically to terraform a region in the forest so that they can use it to harvest crystals to collect to perform their own rituals or to sell off to other necromancers as basically a money-making scheme, of course, but also as a way to create influence and power. If you have access and control of these crystals, then you can perform necromancer rituals very easily. So that would make you popular amongst other necromancers that are interested in this substance. So put some rock here in his face like that. So when this fog gets, when you're in this fog long enough, it can get into your eyes and your throat, into your lungs, and if it infects you, it starts. It can coat over your eyes and blind you, and then it drives you mad, and then you become undead with a hate for everything, and Bob becomes your uncle. So this is a plague hound that has been previously infected and overcome by the influence of the crystals. So we are currently having crystals growing along its mangy hide to indicate its corruption. So it has an ick factor. You can remove these things, assuming that the victim is still alive. You can remove this stuff with like a remove curse, cure disease, or paladins lay on hands to cure disease. Nice. I like how that looks. Yeah, I think that feels pretty good. I like that. Cool. Let's just go ahead and leave that like that then. That's a good improvement over last week or yesterday's production. There, and I'm happy with that. So here's all the creatures we've already made. Let's scoot him out of the way. Looks like it decided to work on the scourge, the Sturge next. So these are all just random creatures that are like random tables, either in the Carnwood near the manifest zone or actually in the manifest zone. And the more supernatural creatures, it's basically it's like a D8. I think it's a D12 table, and the closer to the manifest zone you are, the more exotic or natural the creatures become. So there's like it starts off like with a D6, and then a D10. And then a D12, like a D6, and then a D10, then like a D10 plus 2, and then a D6 plus 6 as you get further and further towards or into the manifest zone. Natural creatures lower on the rank, outside of the manifest zone, far away from it, low chance of having weird creatures. So you roll a D6. Roll up to a D12 when you're getting close to the manifest zone, because you could have anything inside of there. And then once you're inside the manifest zone, D6 plus 6 to make sure the natural creatures fall away, and all the unnatural scary creatures are the only ones that you'll be rolling. So whenever you're rolling a random encounter, check to see where you're at, to see what dice you're supposed to roll on the same table. And the DM can always use that whole table as the same point of reference to determine what's going on in the world. And like, do I want to override this roll and have something specifically creepy coming out? Or like maybe we're in the manifest zone, but for some reason there's something particularly natural that are currently present. So I'm going to grab some art here. Let's go D&D Sturge. So let's go fetch this from D&D Beyond. I know that D&D Beyond doesn't provide credits to artists. I wish they did, but I have no idea who did this. So whoever you are, thanks for doing it. A weird creature, man. Let's do this. So when you're colorblind, I don't see any color. So for me to be able to paint in color, I need to find references that have color that I can trust. And generally, I trust Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, and Dungeons and Dragons art in general. So I'll fetch color template off of here. I think I just want to go, I don't know if I like that Sturge. Let's go see if there's just Sturge. See if there's a different color palette that I like somewhere. Really? That's interesting. Classic, old school. Let's go with this one. That one looks really, really cool. Is there a credit? Looks like a negative Ghost Rider. Sad. All right, well, if anyone knows who this artist is, this is some amazing art. So let's just go with this one instead, because likey. This has the kind of vibrance and contrast that I actually want. I'm going to keep this one just in case, though. In case there's some... Since I don't see color, again, I don't see the color, then let's see if there's a commonality in the color. I'm going to go to here. Yeah, see, this is a much sharper contrast in red versus G and B, so that tells me that this is more saturated than this is, while this has a more mild RGB curve. Well, that's pretty sharp. That's also highlight through its wings. So I think I'm going to use this as I'm going to use this as a base. I'll look for a mid-tone to build base. Let's go with a circle. It's a little dark. That's my 20-minute timer to make sure I don't end up in a little tangent or eddy that's not being productive. Fine. We'll go with that. I'm not liking how dark that is, but that's okay. We've got highlights off of that 5e Sturge. This is a token meant for virtual tabletop, but obviously it could be printed in black and white or here in color. So this is a 300 by 300 pixel space, so this would occupy one square. It's a tiny creature, so it should only occupy one square. But I don't have to have ridiculous levels of resolution on this to be able to create a token. And I know that I could just select fill to make this flow fast, to move on, but my general feeling is that actually going through the process of filling in the lines manually helps me be more familiar with the art that is here that I can integrate. Like I learn it better, right? I mean, that might sound silly, but it's just becoming more familiar with the piece that I'm working on by spending more time and attention with it, learning its edges and its outlines and the shape that it has. I think it just better informs me as an artist working with the medium. Knows. That might be a hogwash, but it's a guiding principle that I have. This in on top of it. So I'm here 11 times per week. Monday through Friday in the morning, I create creature tokens and map assets for the Eberron adventure that we're creating. And eventually, once the tokens and the maps are done, we'll be moving into page layouts and and then interior page. Once the page layouts are done for the adventure, then we'll be dropping actual like spot art into the pages where it belongs. But most of the visual assets for the adventure itself will come from the creature tokens and the different maps and room illustrations and stuff. So the actual amount of spot art is probably going to be fairly minimal because all the tokens are doing the heavy lifting in the adventure. So once we actually get done with all the maps and the tokens, production, God's willing, will actually be will be fairly swift. And I'm hoping to have this. I'm hoping this will be published by September, but that could mean that it won't be until November. If you're interested in the whole process of creating a PDF document that becomes an adventure for sale online, I just finished and published the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that we went through this entire process with online as well. I'm going to grab this as a highlight here to see how that flows. It's got this fuzziness going on. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but I certainly think it's cool. So yeah, Monday through Friday I do tokens like this. Saturday is kind of an open workbench that I'll either do commissions or a personal project of some sort. Mondays, Tuesdays, including today, and Fridays at lunchtime. It's 7 o'clock here in Seattle, and so in about I want to say in about 7:05 and about it'll be 1 o'clock. So why is math so difficult right now? Yeah, in about 6.5 hours, I'll be on for about an hour or so, working on mechanic development. I'm currently building a Magic the Gathering color land hex crawl system for use in Ravnica, Strixhaven, or just randomly. Basically taking the land types from the Magic the Gathering card game and converting them into a hex crawl system where, black mana comes from swamps. So when you're in a swamp, it has black mana type stuff. There's random enchantments, hazards, and creatures that create challenges for characters. while they are roaming through that environment. Same thing with green for forests and blue for islands and blah blah blah. So it's a hex crawl. So it's a random generator system where we lay down tiles of land and then random in the kind of creatures, hazards, and enchantments that the team has to deal with, and then they take on that hex to resolve. And this is all intended as a playtest environment for the Martial Powers system that I had been streaming for 100 some odd episodes during lunchtime in development. So now we're developing the sandbox campaign to use Martial Powers in as sort of like a tie-in. Sort of like, if you think this content is cool, here's a ready-made sandbox that you can use to play it through. Like building tools to use the Martial Power system with. And the Martial Power system is basically a mana resource system for martial characters to, instead of like having superiority dice for a Battle Master, the Battle Master has a mana pool that spends to use maneuvers, or to channel maneuvers as mana powers instead of instead of having like 4 dice, you've got a mana pool that you can spend to trigger different effects, and depending on the intensity of the effect is how much mana you spend. So you could overclock your like your intercept ability to reduce large amounts of damage for your allies based on the amount of mana that you spend while doing so. There's like 150 different powers that we've developed. Yeah, so that's something that's out there for folks to check out. I'm gonna make little badge pockets like this, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on doing that until I actually blend in the art, the line art with the color. So let's just keep finding degrees of separation here. And create little shadow pockets inside of here. Hey, where's my music? I use Epidemic. Yeah. Get a shuffle going. Oh, it reached the end of my list and it just stopped. Huh. I did a cookie clear over the weekend, and I hate doing cookie clears because it just dumps out all my preferences, you know, because they're they're driven by cookies. Yeah, you know, that's not so bad. Let's take a look at trying to duplicate this and then merge that down, and then color. Let's try this again. See how that goes. So now we've bound all the layers together, so it's just a single illustration with the color line, with the line art integrated into the color. So I can do things like smudge it in like this. This is this illustration in particular feels like it wants to be blended a lot. So I'm going to try to just follow my muse and see where she leads us. You know? If you check my channel here at Phil Kearney on YouTube, last night we were building out mega ships for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that I just published. Basically creating large scale ships, and we started with Vokath. If you're familiar with the Light of Zaraxis adventure, Vokath is a mercane that the heroes visit to find allies to help them in their cause of saving their world. And we ended up having a really cool conversation about Kuatoa being in Spelljammer, and the kind of ship that they would have, and all the bloody blah that goes on with it. That was a really cool conversation, and inspired probably the next ship that we'll build, which will be a Kuatoa catfish under the command of an aboleth. So that's gonna be really fucking cool. I am legit looking forward to building that out. Add in some white here. Hey Karen, how you doing? It is good to see you. This little monster's turning out very, very nicely. I'm quite happy with how this is looking. Huh? Oh, God, I love the rain. I love the rain. I love living in Seattle. It is, the summertime is actually very low rain. It's sunny almost all the time in the summertime. But basically, I'm gonna say around September till April, it's good rain. And then once you start getting into May plus, it just turns into sunlight all the time, which is obnoxious as hell to me. I hate the sun. My eyes. One of the side effects of the monochromatism that I have, the type of color blindness that I have is permanent light sensitivity, like severe light sensitivity. So I don't like the sun, but the few months of having to endure sun here in Seattle is worth it for just the amount of gloom that I get over the course of most of the year. But yeah, rain is awesome. It's gorgeous. It sounds amazing. It's just, what an inspiration. What a beautiful world we've been blessed with. I like the bumblebee-ness of this thing. It's fun. Fuzziness of it. I just like it. I like fuzziness. It's fun. And then that fades away into the bat-like skein of its wings. I want to get rid of the heavy line art on the wings because they're so membranous and thin. So we only have a few tokens left in this set of random encounter creatures, and then I'm going to be moving into completing the third act dungeon map, and also, but I think before I do that, I'm going to fix the fonts on the cover image because the fonts just look cheap compared to the rest of the image. So I think I want to go through and research some old 3rd edition Eberron cover art to look at the font that they're using, and then basically paint some letters. There, bring that all together. I suspect this set of tokens is going to be done by tomorrow. What time is it? Yeah, it's 7 o'clock, 7:10. So I've got less than an hour left. So we'll get the Sturge done today for sure, and then possibly we'll get. We probably won't get the second one done. There's only 3 creatures left. There's 2 creatures after this, and I don't think I'm going to get 2 done today. It just doesn't feel like that's what's going to happen. Hey, timely timer. It's pretty cool. I'm happy with this. I don't feel like I have to murder myself on the details. I think I'm just getting the point across pretty good. I'm going to grab that lighter bit. Maybe something light like that. Blend that together. I like that. That's a good highlight. 100%. So I'm gonna add some splotches of this. Let's make it a little chaotic. Make it a little inconsistent just to help lean into the membranous idea. And then we'll run it thin over here to lighten up this interior curve. that. And then we're going to overlay it. Like that. Just do some organic sort of ribboning. Yeah, go back to the, see how it has like these little ridges of skin in the bat wings. That's what we're going through here and duplicating right now, is that membranous sort of affair. We can work that stuff into the wing to add some additional texture and variance on its skin. Take another sip of water. Hydration Nation. In. I'm going to drop the opacity here a bit. There. And then I'm going to some more highlight blotchiness here to help thin it down a little bit more. There we go. Like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that feels good. I'm gonna just boldly blend these all down together and then start working on this abdomen a little bit more. And then once that's resolved, we'll move on to the next piece. So these things don't require a ton of work to get done. I really think all the spot art and tokens that I did for the Spelljammer book have really helped me focus in on efficiency in building these things out. I feel the biggest level up that I got from Spelljammer was efficiency and speed. These tokens are moving a lot faster than I remember they were when I was doing them back when. It's almost like a flying water bear. There. I don't think I need to take this one really any further. I think I'm happy with it. Maybe just a little bit of cleanup. Maybe a little periphery cleanup. Just keep my edges clean. All right. Sturge. Not bad. I'm happy with that. Cool. I'm happy with that. Cool. Do that. Put a lock on it. Find our S's. S-S-S-S-S-T. Sturge. Nope. S-T Sturge. Cool. Now let's go to the Long Dead. I say because I've been challenged by this skeleton. I'm going to go with a purplish sort of base. Let's respect the trash. Let's see. B-dub. And we'll duplicate this. Merge. Color. Oof, way too dark. I need a lighter color to be able to distinguish form. Let's start here. My gut's telling me this purplishness is the way to put in a base. I can drop in crystal on top of it. This is a skeleton that's coated with crystals. Like I was saying, the crystals that form on any organic matter inside of or around the manifest zone. Just naturally attracts and gets gunked up by these crystals. So this is a skeleton that's basically coated with them. So it starts here. And I'm just going to merge that down right away and clean up around it. And then we'll start dropping in crystals on top of it and see how that goes. Tidy up, keep my beach clean. Be considerate to others. Professor, it's Inspector Oofus on patrol. That's me. All right, clean form so far. Let's get into some crystal brittle. Drop this down a little bit like that. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not, honestly. I question it. Maybe it'll turn out okay. The crystals increase the armor class and give it zombie-like resilience. Fuck, I don't know if that's good art or not. I feel like this could be better. But I don't know what the solution is yet. I'm just gonna keep bashing my head against the wall and do this for a little bit longer. Where are we at? 7:30? Yeah. Maybe highlights is what I need to add in. So maybe I should just buff up this form with a good crystal coated outline. And then work on highlights to help differentiate the form. That might be the best solution. Yeah, let's try that. So I'll go here and then grab that purpleness. Maybe push some green. Maybe that's the right way to go. I kind of like that. Yes, my last 20 minutes are on tap. Yep. I don't think this is a bad idea. Yeah, I think this is starting to work out. You should. You should. You're not bound to this. Get out of here, kiddo. Thanks for swinging by. It's nice to see you. It's a very quiet, relaxing sort of day. I hope you find peace with it. Yeah, that feels pretty cool. I'm liking this. All right, cool. So let's just bind this all in together. Clump, and I think I can probably mess around with some forms still. Let's just grab some. Let's grab some off-white. Let's drop the opacity down a little bit. Oh, oops. That was the wrong move. I need to make that a separate layer. Super derp. Get out of here before it's too late. Perfect. Extra layer. That's how I need to do. I like this. I like this loose anatomy poking through. Now this guy looks like he's got some serious bulk added onto him. I like that. Cool. I like that. Where's that down? Down. I'm going to thin up this a little bit. There you go. Nice. Okay. You know what? Let's get started on the... I have the right to come back to this anytime if I decide that it's not good enough. But for now, it's good enough. Long dead. There. I've been looking forward to this one. You know what? I think I'm going to cut stream a little early today. My gut's telling me that this is a good day for me to bounce out of here. So I'm going to leave. I think I'm going to leave this till tomorrow. And yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this for tomorrow. I only have 10 minutes left scheduled for today anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and cut out a little early today. And then we're going to come back. We're going to finish this, and then we can start working on the text to revise the. I don't want to give this up. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yep. Hey, Karen, go lay down. Yeah, I'm going to work on this tomorrow. That's yeah. All right, I'm gonna cut out of here. I'll see you. I'm gonna be back. I'll be back at in about 5.5. In about 6 hours, I'll be back on working to continue to finish the hazards for the Rubble Belt Collared Land campaign that we're building. Yeah. So if this stuff is cool, you're catching this in the future. Thanks a lot for being here. I'm glad we have a future together. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, notifications. Check out some of the work that I've built that we'll have linked down here. The Spelljammer book just came out. The Color Mana bundle for the Magic the Gathering Color Mana system. Point Warlocks is cool. Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica is alternate Warlocks. Theurgy is ability check casting, basically making die rolls instead of spending spell slots. Neat stuff. So I'm going to hit save here, and I'll be back in 6 hours. Catch you guys then. Thanks a lot.